guys and gals, Never here from Drake Wayne Gaming, and something now on Twitter, the Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you with a Let's Play episode of Dawntide, Billy's Path. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump right back into it, shall we? Alarm chain, you were up, and let's go! And there's the brief back and forth around his departure from the dock, littered with abbreviations and typos. Wait, no, South Koyo. He's had his fun in the sun, then. The wind turns. It chills me through the loose-knit wool of my sweater. Hope he got it while he could. Bet you a pint to just be wearing a t-shirt. Do the whole big man thing. Twigs and hard soil crunch underfoot as we continue along the path. Won't be long until we're back on the road. At the base of the hill, the road peels left across the bay. Before weaving back through the heart of the town, it runs a long wall of corrugated iron, a drab metal blister on the headland's pastoral greens. At a gap in the fence, we see dock workers passing through the clipboards and hard hats, the usual fare. Between them are glimpses of a rarer sort, at least for these parts. They're the ones that bring life to the town when the big ships take anchor. A lady passes by us, browns, blacks, and whites painted across her like marbled paper. Her ears are perked up like two satellite dishes as she speaks cheerily to a top-heavy man with gray-green scales. Both of them sport dark blue overalls with Liverson emblazoned across the front, the same emblem that marks the great freighter's hull. Still, no sign of the guy we're looking for. Do you think we should go in? No, I think you need a badge. I reckon I could blag it. I'm not picking you up if you get caught trespassing, Joe. I don't think they mind that much, Sal. She shoots me a look that says don't encourage him. But yeah, Joe, she's right. Best not to push it. I told you we should have messaged him. Yeah, well, I bet he wouldn't even respond anyway. If we don't see him soon, I'm gonna call. Joe, who until now has been leaning against the iron gate, suddenly jolts up. He turns to us and whispers excitedly, I can see him! He stays low and points through a gap in the posts. Sure enough, a scruffy gray figure in blue overalls plods towards the barrier. Told you, Sal! Okay, what are we doing? Joe motions towards himself frantically. He's trying to whisper, but it comes out more like a raspy bellow. Come on, get down over here! We duck down, scurrying over to Joe. He presses his beak to the gap in the fence, silent. He's loving this. Suddenly there's a flurry of feathers jolting forward with us in tow, springing out and shouting almost in unison. Happy welcome, hello back, Ranzo! Ah! All the wiry gray hairs of the salty sea dog raise up before his shocked expression spreads out into a broad smile. Huh! It gave me a heart attack! It's good to see you! His blue eyes glimmer as his arms wrangle us together into one group hug. The grasp is firm. It smells of fresh laundry, dampened by salt. It's undercut by the blossom of singed tobacco as Joe's pressed closer to me. After a good few seconds, Ranzo's heavy arms let us go and return to his hips. As I catch my breath, Ranzo's eyes rest on me. So, this is your idea, Rybrad? Ha! No, Joe's actually. Should have guessed. Well, I figured you'd like a proper welcome after all this time. I did. Thanks, mate. His voice is washed through and through with a southwestern dialect. And all the time he'd been gone, he's unmistakable as a Port Warren local. His eyes trace around us. His breath pushes heavily against the scruff of his muzzle, still perked up from the shock. Hard to think I'm actually back here with all of you. Wait, where's Billy? He missed his train. I told him to meet us at the Chariot. Huh, well, we're still going now, or are we gonna have a mosey first? Plenty of time to mosey tomorrow. Riley owes me a drink. We should probably get there before Billy does. Let's go. The walk to the Chariot takes us along the narrow main street. To our left, buildings are cramped together, clambering up a steep hill. On the right, little roads break off down the seafront, where wooden benches sit empty with flapping parasols bearing their venues' names. Pubs and bars are some of the only places able to hold their own in recent years, stubborn nails jutting out amongst the shops and cafes that come and go with the tide. Around half the storefronts lay vacant, the remaining signage earmarked by boards reading "To Let," standing only to remind passers-by what used to be there. Their empty, dark rooms make their broad street-side windows into ghostly mirrors. Ranzo, Sal, and Joe are walking ahead and chatting about something I can't make out. It's muffled, and I'm pacing slowly in that hazy reflection. Murky figures pass around us. The lens of the hollow room paints them in the air like smoke. They're locals and visitors alike, blended into a weaving rhythm. A brightness ripples somewhere between the gray, half-formed figures in the faded glass, an amorphous streak of light. Its presence grows, flickering through the gaps in an unseeable space between. It's not a stray beam of light. It's someone else. Someone walking through the crowd with a white tail trailing after. They walk with purpose, towards me. I break eye contact with myself, turning to face the approaching figure. Standing before me, it's... Riley! You're looking kinda spacey. You alright? I look back to the shop front. The brightness is gone. Yeah, just got distracted. You sure? She speaks quieter, just to me. I know you're a bit anxious. You've got nothing to worry about, okay? I'm fine, really. Further up the road behind her, Joe butts in. Keep up, Riley. Sal walks back to the group. I spend a moment by the window. I peer back into it. Nobody there. Walking into the old chariot, our eyes take a moment to readjust to the dim surroundings. Most tables are empty save for the few old men sat sipping room-temperature ale to the tune of some old blues on the tinny speakers of a jukebox. You haven't been able to smoke inside for about 20 years, but you wouldn't know that from the air. Creaking across the floorboards, we head towards the little windowed nook, our teenage home. The Chariot wasn't the best pub here by a long shot, but they never checked ID. Before we reach the nook, Ranzo stops by the bar. First round's on me. What do you guys want? Oh, no, Ranz, you don't have to. It's cool, I got paid this morning. What you want? Joe doesn't waste a second. Pint of Halyard. Been a while since I had that. I'll join you. We should do the brewery tour while you're down. Sal's a little more hesitant. A half pint, same as. Ranzo turns his gaze to me expectantly. I'll have what Joe's having. Job's a good 'un. Ranzo starts making jovial chatter with the bar lady. Half Sal, not very festive. It's 4 in the afternoon, Joe. Plus, I don't want to put Ranzo out of pocket. It's one round. I'll have a proper one when Billy gets here, all right? Just go easy. We all squeeze into the wooden benches by the window. This place was built centuries ago when folks were smaller. Joe and Sal sit opposite me and leave space for Ranzo on my left. Good to be back in here, huh? Yeah, it's got that real comfy atmosphere, hasn't it? She wriggles from side to side as she tries to get into a position where our legs aren't bashed up against each other. I mean, yeah, there's better places, but I perform a similar dance, trying to park myself in a well-worn spot. It's got its charm. We can always do something like this more often, you know. I think the last time we went out for drinks was the last time Billy was down. Yeah, sorry. I've been really busy and... You don't have to work that much, you know. Take a break. Invite Joe. You could always come around to ours, Joe. That'd be nice. Haven't seen the place since you two moved in. Sure. Let's just make it a day where Riley's not doing one of his evening things. Evening things? Ranzo's heavy footsteps announce his return, sandwiching 4 glasses between 2 paws. You get these down, you then. He places 3.5 pints on the table. Cheers, everyone. We all reach across for our beers. As we draw them up, the edges clink and smiles bounce between us. The next half hour passes, bringing with it stories from Ranzo's time at sea. They detail times aboard the ships and the ports to around the Erie Republic. He's still that confident, positive spark in our group. Joe's fun, but Ranzo's tone is a bit more vibrant. He sings color into stories that I imagine were actually pretty drab and dreary. Like the week where the ship's laundry broke down and they had to hand scrub their clothes. Or the time the ship's cook got sick to stand in and couldn't do the potatoes properly. Midway through another story, Ranzo's joyful pace is interrupted by an uneven gator crossing the floor. Aye, dickheads! The voice is broad, confident, and devoid of the local twang. Approaching the end of the table, a toned figure sways, one hand placing a streamlined bike against the wood wall, the other holding the strap of a large sports bag. His brow furrows, but a smile forms on his face as he slings the duffel down. Billy! The one and only. Took you long enough. You just brought that thing in. You just brought that thing straight in? Sal glances at the bike, then back to Billy. He shrugs. Thanks for the welcome, Sal. My luck's at the bottom of my bag. It's not busy in here anyway. Sure, it's fine. Good to see you. Billy starts to reach for a stool from one of the empty tables. I'll take that, Billy. You can sit here. Ranzo stands up, gesturing to the space he leaves beside me. Billy waves a hand dismissively. It's fine. I got first class down. Joe sends a told-you-so look my way. No, really. It's my way. It's my round way. It's my round anyway. What do you want? Sal interjects, edging out of her seat. No, it's not. It's my round. Sal pulls herself out from the nook and pushes Billy's bag into it with her foot. What do you want, Billy? Water's fine. Water, you going soft? Billy nods to the bike. Training, in it? Right. Everyone else? Billy might have the right idea. It is pretty early. Nah, go on. Get another pint. Another pint. Cheers. Handsome. Same here. Ranzo nods, raising the last of his one. Alright, 3 pints, 1 water. Sal heads to the bar. She mounts Billy's bike on the way. Not sure if it was intentional or not. Billy slides into Sal's empty spot next to Joe. Ranzo returns next to me. The old wooden bench creaks beneath us. How's the leg? Got rocket boosters in this one? Billy extends his right leg to the bicycle, leant against the wall. Below a flexing thigh, his leg tapers into a curved prosthetic. I'm the rocket booster, mate. Rockets underwater, do they? Rockets run on water, do they? They sure as fuck don't run on lager. Not having a beer belly flapping around on the velodrome. You're not tired of riding around on a big circle yet? Ah, man, it's Zen. About to achieve enlightenment on that bitch. Looking forward to the getting back on the hills here, though. Looks like it does you good. You gotten hench. You're doing steroids on top of your usual stuff. It's all me, dude. I was gonna ask, do you still get people being weird about it? Sometimes. They want an easy excuse when I whip their asses in the trials. Real persons that I put more time on the track than anyone else. No reason I put more time on the track than anyone else. Surprised you got time for your course. You don't have to pass. That's all that matters. But just around, I bet coursework's the last thing in your mind, eh? She's not around. What? As Sal approaches the table, Billy takes his glass from the tray and sips. It broke up. Oh, shit. Sal's face slumps with disappointed sympathy. She sets down the tray of drinks. Alright, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right there. Thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon if you can. It always helps. Anyway, I love you all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!